Hey, good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing today? How are you guys doing today? Man, I hope you guys all had a having a great day so far today. I'm having a great day, man. Last night, just got back in from Miami. As you guys know, on Monday, I did my little talk from Miami. I just got back to Houston last night, probably about 1 o'clock this morning, man. A flight got stuck in, not stuck. I had a connecting flight from Fort Lauderdale to Austin, Texas, then on to Houston. But the Austin leg, man, they said I had some storms in Orlando, and the flight was delayed by about a good 5 hours. And the bad thing is that I had to wait about 6 hours to get to take a 30 minutes flight. Okay, from Austin to Houston is just 30 minutes flying time, but 2.5 hours driving. So, but anyhow, we got in and headed to work. Good morning, Jillian. Good morning. But I can stop, pull over here, and get this little word out, man. Good morning, Tessa. Good morning, Tessa. Yes, you know, I got to do what God asked me to do, man. I got to do what God asked me to do. Never mind, I got a little bit of rest. I just got to go out. I got to stop and do what He asked me to do. He didn't tell me to approve a day off, so I can't take the day off because today might be that day He has someone for me to reach and get His word to. And I just can't take that for granted. I can't take that for granted. I just got to go on and do what I need to do. So I come in last night, all in Austin. I was done preparing. I know what I want to talk about. I done had everything together. So by the time I got in about 1:30 in the house this morning, I just put everything together, and then I'm going to do it. I'm going to get rest later. But what this word going to bless the person, who they going to bless and cause change in their life, that's priceless. That's more than a little rest. And I want to just say, man, I know to have some people that come to me this morning to let you guys know this. There is some people that gonna tune in, catch one message here, the dung. I meet a lot of people that tell me that, man, I was dung, and I heard one of your message and it picked me up, and they might listen to two more, get what they want, they get fed, and they going on. But some of you guys are listening consistently. All right, I'm doing this over a year, man, and some of you guys are listening consistently. The dedication that you guys showing and the hunger for God's word. The message came to me this morning to let you guys know maybe you are the one that He is called or calling to go on and educate your family or educate the people in your circle of influence about this. For whatever reason, you are showing that dedication. He's saying don't take it for granted, and don't tell yourself, man, not me, not me. No, 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 no. If He calling you and you showing the dedication, the hunger for His word, He probably got some work for you to do. So don't take it for granted. Listen to His voice and see where He's leading you with it, and what He asking you to do. Yeah, I just thought I'd get out. That came to me this morning, and I know when He put that on my heart, I need to tell people there. But I'm gonna get into it today. What we doing? We talking about these abominations. I got a few more, and I'm gonna explain, and then we can move on from this. But I'm still have to explain a few more things on these abominations. I'm gonna read them and go through them. But for first-time listeners, this is Gregory Wiles reporting live from Houston, Texas. In the mornings, I usually get some exercise, and I share my thoughts with you guys. But today I'm going to work, so I can pull over here. I can get some exercise later. I can be in the gym later, and I can get my exercise in then. But yes, so today we're talking about, we want to explain what is a witch, talk about witch and wizards and warlocks, because this is one of the things He's saying. Let me read this, Deuteronomy 18:10 through 12. He said, there shall not be found among you, this is when He telling them to go to the promised land, what the Israelites, what to expect. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or daughter to pass through the fire. We talk about that on Monday. Or use a divination. We discussed that already. Or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch. And we can talk about what's a witch today and break that down. Or a charmer, or a consultant with familiar spirits. We talk about familiar spirits already. or a wizard. Well, wizard and witch can go together. That's we're gonna talk about those today. Or a necromancer. We talk about necromancy. For all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord, and because of these abominations, the Lord thy God do drive them out before thee. So all in a nutshell, like I said the last time, God just breaking this stuff down. All of this stuff is devil worship, but he just breaking them down, just in case you don't know. And he telling you all of these people who do these things are all worshiping the devil. But he just didn't want to say. He already said don't worship no other God but me. But he want to make sure we understand if we don't know all of these people who doing these things, because a lot of time I see we talking about witch today, and some people can say, "Oh, this person's a good witch, and a good witch and a bad witch." He's saying witch. So once you got the title witch, ain't nothing good no more about it. He's saying, "Oh, this person used the powers for good." Now they're using the powers that a witch gonna have, like we talk about when we talk about familiar spirits. For the people who are hearing this for the first time, you could go back. And I'm a little behind though on uploading stuff on YouTube. The last 3 I didn't get to upload because I was so busy, but later on today I'm gonna make some time and upload them. But familiar spirits is what aid these people and give them the so-called powers, right? We went through that. So when you're talking about a witch and she used her powers to good, it's these same familiar spirits of God saying have nothing to do with people to do with them. So they're using these points. Oh, but they use the power for good. Like Harry Potter, right? Well, Harry Potter is described as he's a wizard, right? And we can go through and see what wizard is and everything, right? Their powers are aided by familiar spirits. In case you don't know, we saw everybody line up for days when a Harry Potter book or whatever coming out. But it's a wizard. I said, oh, but he's a good wizard. No. I see nothing in the Bible would describe a wizard or a witch as being good. Their powers are being aided by familiar spirits, right? So I want to get that out to the way. Some people come and tell you, because what these movies and what these things are doing, they are normalizing these things that are evil. They are normalizing it. So now your son or your daughter hooked on Harry Potter, and there's a big Harry Potter fan and all of that, right? And then sometime down the line, somebody come and tell them, hey, you know what? You want some powers like Harry Potter? Like, yeah, man, that's cool. That's cool. I love to have the powers that Harry Potter got. And you know these stuff are real. They can get them, and they can get them, and then they do the little tricks. Got a familiar spirit, tell them, move this object there. Tell the object to move, and they get the familiar spirits to move the object or whatever, and the kid get excited and not knowing they're being introduced to a world of witchcraft, and they don't even know it because the movies already soften it up and tell them about good and witch and bad witch and good wizard and bad wizard. You look at all the movies, even a lot of the Disney movies and all that, they got in these things about it. They're just kind of normalizing this evil and making it seems like okay to us, and then you know, when we get in draw into these things, we didn't even realize when we're getting sucked into a world of witchcraft, right? And these things open doors. They open doors for the enemy. And that brings me to a point. Please, when I finish here, you get this information. Do not dress up as no witch or no wizard or no warlock when you go into these Halloween functions. Don't let your kids dress up as no witch. I mean, it's inviting the enemy. You're telling the enemy, and I know people don't think of like this. You're telling the enemy, you're cool with me, man. I'm cool with you. I'm so cool with you that I'm going to dress like you to show you how I'm so down with what you do with, you know what I mean? That's what you're doing. And when these kids have these bad dreams and I start acting out and all of that, we don't know what's going on, and we whooping them, and we calling them out, we calling everybody and complaining, oh, this child is so bad and all of that. But when we actually inviting evil into their lives, man, right? And this is what God said, my people perish for the lack of knowledge, right? We don't know these things. We think it's just a Halloween ball and, you know, the kids having fun, what harm this could do, but we don't know the spiritual implications of the things that we're doing. We dressing as a witch. We telling the devil, man, we cool with you. You know, we okay. You're good. You know, I'm so good that I'm gonna dress and depict you and go out there and act like I'm you. That's what you're doing in a nutshell when you do that, right? And when you talk about a good witch and all of that, that's like the drug man or some armed robber. He robbing people, killing people, and robbing people, but taking his money that he get from all his robberies that he killed people for, all the blood money, and then he said, "Oh, you know, I'm doing good for the kids. I'm donating so much to this organization for the kids and the Billion Youth Center." Yes, but how you getting the money, right? What's the source of your money? Is the evil you're doing? You get money, you kill a lot of people for the drugs you sell, so much of life being destroyed, but you say you're taking it and you're doing good. That's like saying there's a good witch and a good witch and using the powers for good. That's like the same thing, right? What's going on there, right? So let's look here at a few more scriptures that talk about this. Some of these scriptures we went through already. If you guys who listening, we talk about familiar spirits, we talk about necromancy and all of that kind of stuff. All these people who do these stuff, they can come onto the category of witches and wizards. So let's look at the dictionary definition of a witch, right? It said a woman thought to have magical powers, especially evil ones, right? And then it said popularly depicted as wearing a black cloak and a pointy hat and flying on a broomstick, right? But that's the myth, right? A witch ain't got to be no pointy hat, no broomstick and flying and all of that. This is just how they depict it in a movie and in the story books and all of that. But the person you sitting and talking to every day, but here is the thing, a woman who taught to have magic powers, anyone who aided with his familiar spirit. So the person at your job who you're communicating with every day, dressing more slick than you, could be a witch. A person in your church who you're sitting next to could be a witch. A person you meet on the bus or whatever could be a witch. You don't have to be on no broomstick doing all in good morning. Don't have to be on no broomstick and flying around with a black pointy hat and all that. No. Once they're performing and dealing in this stuff, this witchcraft and this dealing with these familiar spirits, they are considered witches, right? So the female version is a witch, and the male, a wizard, a man who has magical powers, especially in the legends and fairy tales, right? That's what the dictionary put it. But as a man is really referred to as a wizard and warlocks. And the warlock, for the dictionary definitions, a man who practices witchcraft, a sorcerer. So the males who practice this witchcraft stuff, they're usually called wizards and warlocks, and then and the women is mostly referred to as witches. But some modern day, the same both can use for both and all of that. But pretty much when you hear the term wizards, warlocks, witches, is all people who deal in sorcery, who's aided by familiar spirits. The powers come from the use of familiar spirits, and you could go back and listen to that if you don't know what we're talking about. Listen for the first time, right? So a few scriptures here. Isaiah 8:19. It said, "And when they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits, and unto wizards that peep." So they're saying, when people come telling you when you got your issues, going through your issues, and they're telling you, "Oh, go see the I know somebody that can read your palm. I know somebody that can give you a word. I know somebody. You go to the psychic. Go to this." He's saying, and when they say this unto you, right? Saying, should not people seek their God? You should go to God when you have anything. Do not seek these people. Okay, you say these things are an abomination. An abomination is a strong word. You know, when we look up the word abomination, it's something that you totally detest and hate, right? So don't let no one come telling you, go and get some quick answers. Go and get some quick answers. Seek these people to get some quick answers, right? So Leviticus 26 saying, "And the soul that turneth after such that have familiar spirits, and after wizards to go whoring after them, I will even set my face against that soul, and will cut them off from among his people." So he's saying, you know, anyone who's seeking after, he can cut you off. He's going to cut you off. Okay, he said, "It's an abomination. I hate this thing," right? And there's a lot more that we went through, you know, because as you realize now, a lot of these things are repeating because they're one and the same, these abominations, right? They're one and the same. But God just breaking it down in different sections for us to let us to understand. People who claim they're talking to the dead, that's not of me. People who claim they're looking into the future and give you information in the future, the definition, that's not of me. Anytime you hear the term witches and warlocks, he's saying that those are not of me. I never describe my angels as no witch or warlock and all that. So don't let no one come telling you, but they're a good witch and they're a good warlock. And Harry Potter only using his powers for good and not evil, and he fighting against the bad ones. And no, a warlock is a warlock. It ain't got no good in it no more, right? So don't nobody fool you about that, right? So that's what he's saying. All these people who doing this stuff, he just want us to know those are worshiping the devil, right, guys? So I think we get the picture. The only difference is here is the witch is a woman who do the sorcery, who aided by familiar spirits. The men is really referred to as warlocks, wizards, and but they're all doing the same thing. So guys, just remember, man, don't worry depicting. Look at the shirts you have on and what you have around the house, and if it's depicting witches and wizards, and you might not even know, you might just see a shirt or some piece of item, just like what I'm saying, the accursed things that you're bringing in your house. If it's depicting the evil and advertising the devil, you don't want it in your house, you don't want it around you, because just like you dressing as the witch on a Halloween ball, you're telling the devil you're okay with me. You giving him permission to come and harass you because you have his stuff around you and you depicting him. So just be careful with all of these things, because just by having them around in your home and all of that, you telling them, hey man, we're okay, man, we're good. You know, so what God said is knowledge. We don't have the knowledge, we don't know, but now that's why I'm exposing some of these things, guys. So I can leave it there, guys, but the only know I'm telling you, they're a good witch and they're only using the powers to good, because where the powers are aided by is stuff that God says familiar spirits, and God said have nothing to do with people who dealing in familiar spirits, right? So guys, have a blessed day. I don't see where we lead on Friday. I may take on one more of them, or if you lead me to move on from this, I will. But have a great Wednesday, guys, and I'll talk to you guys again on Friday. All right, goodbye.